Do you want to know how to collect 1 million in outstanding school fees in just 6 weeks? Check out our hack number 10. During 2025, our data management community tested multiple collection strategies. And today I'm going to share with you the top 10 hacks and a weekly routine. So let's start with hack number 1. You don't always have to be the bad guy. Yes, we must ask parents for payment of outstanding school fees, but we must also say thank you. You can send thank you SMSs through the Jumping Fox software system using the following features: our custom SMS feature, the to-do generator, and account categories. In our February Shorts notes, we provided you with an example of a thank you SMS. Our support team can help you create your thank you SMS, and if you want a guide on a step-by-step how to create your custom SMS, just go to the knowledge base onboarding manuals. Hack number 2. Send payment reminders to accounts that have been overlooked. This is a huge problem for every debtor management team because you have to take the time to identify these accounts, but you must also make sure you send them the correct reminders. So on the Jumping Fox software system, there's basically 3 reasons why an account skips workflow. The first reason is the account is under the ignore section, so it won't receive workflow. Secondly, the account can on the account level be set not to receive workflow for parent 1 or parent 2, and then there's the floor limits. So let's use the floor limits as an example. The SMS floor limit is set to 3,000. The outstanding account is 2,999 Rand. This account will not receive workflow, but it actually qualifies for workflow. So how do you solve this problem? You use the Jumping Fox software, skipped workflow report, the custom email and SMS feature, account categories, and to-do generator. So where do you find the skipped workflow report? You go to your navbar, reports, collection, skipped workflow. Column F will provide the reason why the account skipped workflow. Column D will give you the outstanding balance, and by using the filters, you can identify the accounts you want to send out correspondence to. Again, with the account categories or the to-do generator. Let's look at the account category option. You go to Manage, Account Categories, and you take the accounts from the skipped workflow report you just identified, add them to the account category section, name the category, for example, skipped workflow 6 March, final request SMS, click Submit for the account category to create. Now you head over to your Tools section. You can either send an SMS or an email. You select the category you just created. You select your template, and you send out your to-dos. Another nice hack is to create an account category for debit orders. To just tell them and remind them your debit order failed, make sure you bring your payments up to date. Option 2, the to-do generator. Where do you find the to-do generator report? Navbar, report, to-do generator, and you download your to-do generator template. In column A, you will add the account numbers from the skipped workflow report, and in column E, you will add the outstanding balance, and you save the to-do generator report on your computer. Remember the SMS you just selected as placeholders, so it will pull through the outstanding balance and the parent details, so it will still be a personalized SMS or email. Now you head over to your workflow activities, to-do generator, complete the fields, select the to-do generator report you just created, import, and the system will automatically generate your to-dos for you on the to-do generator page. Sending correspondence with an account category or the to-do generator doesn't impact your standard workflow except for the section 41. So please go to your February Shorts notes, page 2, to see the impact on the compliance side of the section 41 if you use account categories or the to-do generator. Hack number 3. Download the top outstanding capital report to identify the accounts that have not made sufficient payment. Now, normally you would do this 2 weeks after you ran your standard workflow. So some schools get nervous to ask parents for money, while others see the immediate value when they remind the parent of payment and telling them what's outstanding. We tested the process and we can confirm that the majority of parents respond positively to a payment reminder. Yes, there's the parents who will always complain, but that is part of the collection game. So how to manage the accounts that did not make sufficient payment? You download your top outstanding report, you use the SMS and email custom feature, again the to-do generator or the account categories. To download your top outstanding capital report, you go to the report section. You will find your report there. It's a very nice report. It will show you the top outstanding accounts from the highest to the lowest value. It will show you the last payment date and amount. The steps on how to create your to-dos using the to-do generator or account categories, go to your February shorts notes, hack number 2. Just always remember to import your financials to update the account balances so that you're sure the system sends out the correct balance. Hack number 4. Send a custom email to parents in a similar situation using account categories. So, when you send out workflow, your standard step workflow, the system sends out a personalized SMS or email. And as you already know with the placeholders, there will be an account number, the parent's information, and the outstanding balance. So with the standard workflow, you can send out a custom email to parents in a similar situation. So what do I mean by this? Let's say these parents with a payment arrangement on the system, they failed to pay. The system will send them a payment reminder, an SMS or an email. You can now go and analyze these accounts and create a category for the parents who made no payment, not even a partial payment on the arrangement. And you can tell them to come and visit the school so that you can discuss the payment arrangement. So with the account categories, you choose the accounts you want to send correspondence to, whereas with the standard workflow, if the account qualifies for workflow because of the setup, they will receive correspondence. Hack number 5. You send a custom email using an account categories after you send the statements. So send out statements to all the outstanding accounts, but create an account category for your top outstanding accounts. Then send a custom email where you tell these parents, school fees are payable, for example, on or before the first day of the month, as per the terms and conditions of the school enrollment form. Hack number 6. Download the VCCB report to confirm the parents' details or trace the parents. The parents always provide limited information, and you need alternative sources to get a clear picture of the parents' circumstances. So the VCCB report is a fantastic report to confirm parent details and to trace them. One of our users tried to finalize an exemption application, but the mother said she couldn't get hold of the father. Our user knew that you don't need the parent's consent to download the VCCB report, and she did just that. And she got the parent's information, made contact the father, received the necessary information, and finalized the exemption application on the same day. Hack number 7. Compliant payment plan. We all know it's better to have an arrangement in writing. If you don't, it's basically a promise to pay, and the parent can easily ignore his agreement with the school. It's also important to have the parent sign an acknowledgement of debt so that you include the necessary clauses such as the novation clause, but you exclude certain clauses like the interest clause. That's on the compliance part. So when the parent fails to pay according to the acknowledgement, make sure you make contact with the parent. If you don't, the parent will think his payment doesn't matter and that you're not paying attention to his account, which is actually not the case. So if you make use of the Jumping Fox software arrangement feature, you upload the payment plan on the system and the system will track and prioritize payments and create the correspondence that needs to go out to the parent. Hack number 8. Our favorite reports. And there's 2 we always reference. The preferred step report and the SMS and email status report. So when do schools use the preferred step report? Let's say there's a learner that's still in school, but the account came over with the balance brought forward value. Or it's a high outstanding value and the parent didn't agree to a payment plan. For these accounts, before you run workflow, pull the preferred step report and if necessary, move the account to a higher step in the workflow. Just always be mindful of compliance. This way the parent will move through the workflow faster and get to the handover stage. The SMS and email status report is very important. You are going through the motions and sending out your SMSs and emails, and you assume that the parent gets the communication. But let's say the SMS or email address doesn't exist, so it's undelivered. Make sure you pull the report, pull the VCCB report, and just trace the parent or confirm the contact details. Hack number 9. Phone call follow-ups and follow-up reminders. The schools that make use of phone calls as part of their collection process says it adds significant value to their collections. What they do say is make sure you stick to your scheduled follow-up dates. If you say to a parent, I'm going to follow up on Friday, you must follow up on Friday. They also say making phone calls takes time. But once a parent understands where the balance is coming from, and there's different payment options to settle the account, they are more likely to settle the account. Hack number 10, the one you've all been waiting for, our top performer in 2025. So at the end of 2025, this user managed to collect over 1 million in outstanding school fees in just 6 weeks. So how did she do this? While still completing her handovers and finalize her exemption applications. Well, she basically ran workflow in the beginning of the month, downloaded her skipped workflow report and sent out correspondence to certain accounts. And then her biggest success came from running a SMS campaign for 6 consecutive weeks, where she kept reminding parents to pay their school fees. Consistency is key, and this is what she showed us. If the parents can see that you prioritize payment and you monitor payments, they will prioritize payments and pay. So well done to this user. It's a great case study and something we can all learn from. And finally, our weekly routine. This school basically says that Mondays are generally not a good day to collect money. During the school holidays, parents don't answer their phones, but they do communicate via email. The best collection days are Tuesdays and Wednesdays. After the pre-Section 41 notice, it seems that parents respond the best. For private schools, it's the breach letter. The Credit Bureau listing also generates a strong response. They sent their Section 41 notice on a Friday. For private schools, it's the acceleration letter. It seems that parents over the weekend then assess their budget and come with an offer on a Monday. They use phone calls throughout the month, but they create their phone call to-dos after they've completed the workflow. And this is our top 10 hacks we tested in 2025. And we can promise you, if you implement them in your collection strategy, your collection success rate will increase dramatically. Thank you.